back, everybody. It's been too long. Welcome back to the channel. I swear every time we come back I feel like I look different. Welcome back. So my name is Layla, aka Lay the Great, aka Laytheram on Twitch. So yeah, and welcome to Lay the Great TV. We're back. House of the Dragon is back, baby. That's why I'm here. It just premiered this past Sunday, June the 16th. You are seeing this video Friday, June the 21st. So I'm a little behind, but I will go ahead and get all the housekeeping out of the way. First of all, Juneteenth just passed. I don't know if y'all can read that. Okay, wop, dot, fuck them up. Okay, I'm gonna do my stuff. This is the Kendrick Lamar house. Remember that. Anyway, I do have my notes. But again, before that, we're gonna get the housekeeping out the way. So, I did do a season 1 review, episode by episode. If you go on the channel, you'll see that there under a playlist. I'll link it down below. Let's see, what else have I done since? I think the last video before that might have been something about music that I did with my homegirl. I can't even remember now because unfortunately I have not been on my Zoom. We have been popping a little bit on Twitch, so make sure you go follow me on Twitch. Twitch.tv/Laytheram. Over there, every once in a while we'll get on and we'll play. And we'll have a really good time, so go check out what we're doing over there. Anyway, housekeeping stuff. Yes. Damn, what do I want to say? Okay, boom. This is what we're going to say. So, House of the Dragon is back, season 2, episode 1. I want to make clear, I have never read the books. I have not read the books. I probably won't read the books. Everything I'm saying is based off of the lore of the show. If I may mention something from the books that I've seen in passing, but besides that, all of my critiques and everything like that is coming strictly based off of what we see in the show, any evidence in the show that the writers give us. So just want to have everybody keep that in mind when we're interacting. Hopefully we will interact, but you know, it's going to be very pointless for you to say in the comments what happened in the book and da-da-da-da and well this and that and the third. We ain't going by the book. I'm going by the show. So sorry. Anyway, we're going to get back into it. We're just going to jump straight into it because why not? Oh, also real quick. So every week, House of the Dragon is going to be releasing every Sunday at like 9 p.m. Very late. But anyway, my schedule flip-flops in terms of working. So when when you all will actually get the video will be different each week. There will be some days where I'll be able to upload immediately after the episode drops, and then there will be some weeks like this week where I have to, you know, kind of wait a couple days to do it due to my work schedule. So, but my goal is to always have it out before the next episode. So this will be out just a handful of days before we get to season 2, before we get to episode 2, and so on and so forth. So just wanted to put that out. Anyway, welcome back everybody to House of the Dragon. You see my notes here. I'm not playing. I got my notes, so let's get into it. Okay, so first of all, when we get into the episode, we see Jace meeting with Cregan Stark. We're seeing Winterfell again. Snow is crazy. Very cold. We see, you know, the allusion or them alluding to, you know, the White Walkers. Winter's coming. Blah, 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 blah. We see the early generations of the Starks. And I loved it. I thought it was a very cool thing to see that. Honestly, I love seeing a lot of the other houses and families. I think it's very cool to see them, especially to see the Starks, because they played such a huge part in the main story. So it was really awesome to see them again. But yeah, this is the first time we're seeing Winterfell, and at that point, in terms of like timeline wise, clearly this has happened, of course, just after everything went down with baby Luke. And I can only assume this is probably about a month, I want to say, because, you know, we're still in the medieval era. It takes a long time for a raven to fly from King's Landing or wherever the fuck they at, probably all the way to Winterfell. So bottom line is that's what we can assume. But when we see when we see Jace in Winterfell, that's when he receives a raven about his brother's death. Another thing we learn is that Helena and Aegon, of course, they're married and they have twins. I'm assuming 2 kids, twins. That's probably the best thing we can assume. I know I've seen again in the book, even though we're not going strictly off the book, they have 3 kids. And the thing that we'll talk about later, you know, they killed one of the other kids, whatever. But yeah, the book and the show is doing things a bit differently. But regardless, from the show perspective, looks like they're twins. So yeah. We see when we get back to King's Landing after that, we see Helena mention something about the rats. I'm scared of the rats. I'm not scared of the dragons. I'm not scared of whoever. I'm scared of the rats. Everybody always wants to pass off like Helena's lost her mind or she's crazy. Alright, so let's get into the real tea. At this point, Alicent and Christian Cole are having sex, and they're having a lot of it. When we get into that scene where Alicent has got her koozie wide open and Christian Cole is just going neck deep, it's just crazy. To be honest with you, it makes sense. I knew it was happening. It doesn't surprise me at all, and it's really unfortunate, honestly. Of course, she claims in that interaction, you know, this can't happen again. This will be the last time. We find out that is indeed a lie. It's not the last time, and it wasn't the first time. But we gonna get more into that later. We do see the sea snake again. I don't have much to make out of that moment, but we do see him again. We're learning about King Aegon a lot this episode, I feel like. In this episode, we're seeing his personality and we're seeing the relationship and how the Greens, to me, are going to be falling apart internally. For example, when we see Aegon, when we first meet him in the first season, right? He doesn't care about being king, or he just doesn't know how to be king. He doesn't have proper guidance at all. And he's just not raised properly at all. And then when we get into the second season, yes, he is king and he likes the title. I think he likes the idea of being king, but not actually being king. Does that make sense? So we get there, of course, the Hand of the King, Otto Hightower, is trying to pull the strings. Alicent is trying to pull the strings. Everybody is trying to influence Aegon in the best way possible, or in the way that they feel is the best. But Aegon is starting to show signs that he's king, meaning he understands he can do what he wants to do, especially in this world. The sense of family is kind of gone, meaning once you get a certain title, the whole family thing kind of goes out the window, it feels like. Like, even going back to the main series when Joffrey was king, you know, Cersei still had to fall in line because Joffrey was king. Her being his mother didn't matter too much. And this feels like the same thing here. Alicent being Aegon's mother doesn't quite matter too much. Otto being the grandfather, whatever, all these people being relatives. At the end of the day, when y'all come in, you still got to say your grace. You don't call them by their first name. You don't do this. You don't do that. You still, you know, kind of acknowledge them as the king first. Family second. And the thing that I'm noticing with a lot of the interactions and everything is Aegon's gonna get out of their grip. And it slowly starts happening this episode. For example, when they start having the council meeting or the town meeting where the peasants come in and they're asking for shit and whatever the case may be, you know, Aegon is trying to problem solve in his own way, and then you have the Hand of the King kind of stepping in and being like, you know, we don't do that, or this is not how we operate. But Aegon's kind of feeling himself a little bit like, look, you know, it seems to be a tussle. He takes his grandfather's word, but then, you know, he turns around and he does this and that and the third. But he's still arrogant. He's still very, very dumb, unfortunately. Him and everybody else lean entirely too much on Vhagar. I feel like that's just how they move. So-and-so wouldn't be dumb enough to do this because we have Vhagar. We have Vhagar. So yeah. All that's going to come back and kick them in the ass ultimately. Alicent wants her dad to stop undermining her, but in truth, I feel like Alicent just wants to seem important. I feel like all of this is just... It's just clear to me now, Alicent just doesn't care about any of this. She doesn't want any of this. She never did. And it's all a facade. I went back and actually saw a clip from the first season where Alicent went to attack Rhaenyra's son with that long dagger knife after Team Black's kids and Team Green's kids, if you will, got into a tussle after Aemon kidnapped, or stole rather, not kidnapped, but stole Vhagar. Alicent loses her mind and snaps on Rhaenyra, tries to take her son's eye, which is just crazy. Watching that scene back just really infuriated me all over again, and it really shows how delusional Alicent even is. Like, everything that she said in that scene, you know, what happened to duty? What happened to sacrifice? I have to do this and that and the third while you get to do whatever you want. She literally says this all in the clip. Please go back and watch it. That's where, you know, Rhaenyra eats her ass up and clearly says, you know, or what did she say? It's exhausting, isn't it? You know, hiding behind your own righteousness. Or hiding, you know, underneath this whole idea of this righteousness that you think you may have. And the truth is, that was a bar, because it's very true. Like, I'm trying to see if I can find it on TikTok so I can at least just play the audio. But it is giving me I'm not going to find it, unfortunately. Anyway, look, the fact of the matter is this. Alicent, it just comes down to jealousy and the fact that she just never wanted the position that she's in. But we're gonna come back to that later. We're gonna make that full circle in just a moment. All right. So Daemon Targaryen. Daemon is terrible at processing his feelings. He's just moving off of rage, which I fully understand. But it's just he's not playing the long game, which we all know, outsiders looking in, right? We all know that is very important in these times. You have to play the game properly. Whether you want to get your lick back or not. You can't just do stuff. That's what Daemon did. And that's where we're at now. So that leads us to Blood and Cheese. He hires, you know, well, Rhaenyra says she wants Aemon. I want Aemon Targaryen. Now that she's found the remains of her son and his dragon, I want Aemon Targaryen. That's what she says, okay? Daemon decides, all right, now it's time to get active. He hires, you know, some people, Blood and Cheese, whoever that is, to go through the castle and go get Aemon Targaryen. These motherfuckers do the exact opposite and just find one of the babies, one of Aegon's kids, and decides to behead the child, which is nuts. That whole scene was crazy because, first of all, when they're going through the tunnels, right? And they even pass through The throne room. You have Aegon there with all his friends. Nobody questions anything. Mind you, there were guards there. Nobody said halt. Nobody said stop. Nobody was like, hey, yo, what's up with you? What are you doing? Y'all just let it go. So that's the first issue. Y'all literally, they just walked right past the Iron Throne and nobody questioned anything, which was nuts. Then they get to, I guess, the room where Helena is in or wherever, and they decide to kill one of the kids. Helena does give up the actual son. She's traumatized. You know, she just, I really do feel for Helena. When I say I hate Team Green, at no point am I ever talking about her. But she's traumatized. The scene is very chaotic and sad, honestly. There's no guards. Once Helena escapes with the other baby, there's no guards. She's running around the whole... There's no guards. Where are the guards? Now let's really get into that, because now I'm about to really chew what's her face up. They don't get Aemond. They just get whoever... Okay, this should be good enough. Which is bullshit to me, but whatever. Where was Christian Cole? Let's get into you. Christian Cole, where was you at? Where was you supposed to be? Where was you supposed to be? You were supposed to be guarding. That's your job. Alicent took you off duty. Y'all in the room fucking. Alicent, this is your fault. Otto Hightower, this is your fault. The fall of the Targaryens came from the Hightowers, which is absolutely crazy. Christian Cole has a job to do. And instead of doing that job, he was in that room with you and y'all bumping and grinding. Not one guard was seen that night. You don't let these people all too easily sneak in through the passageways, do this, do that, and the third, and kill that child. Take the child head off. Just over the top. Now with that being said, you watch the previews from the next episode and all that. It's clear this is no longer about the throne. This is no longer about king, queen, rightful heir. They're just gonna start trying to kill each other at this point. Daemon, I'm mad at you because you sent these two psychos on this job. They didn't do the job the right way. You just making moves. You didn't discuss it with nobody. You didn't do this. You didn't do that. And now look. They done went in. They done killed the wrong person. Brutally, mind you. And this is really what's going to ignite the war. Now, this is my biggest takeaway. And this is honestly why I hate the Greens. I don't understand why anybody could possibly be Team Green, because you really are a menace to society. Like, it literally, when I tell you, it would literally just make no sense. Nobody is doing what they're supposed to do. And everybody is a hypocrite. The entire first season, Alicent, I'm going to get to you first. And hold my hand when I say this. You were jealous of Rhaenyra. Simple. You and your family, your dad didn't have any sons, so he couldn't marry him into the family. You couldn't marry him to Rhaenyra or nothing like that. You know, y'all couldn't fight for your rightful place to take the crown or whatever. So he pawned you off. He pimped you off to this old ass man being Rhaenyra's father. Made you marry him, have sex with him, all types of stuff, have his kids. You had to do duty. You had to do what your father told you to do. You had a script to follow. And you hate that because Rhaenyra didn't have to do that. But she didn't have to do that. Yes, I guess because she's the daughter of the king, but also because her claim was lost and everybody was trying to take her claim from her. Why should she have to necessarily follow the rules if she's never going to be queen? If you produce him a son Alicent, and everybody wants him to take the throne next, what do I need to do the right thing for? What does it matter? Y'all are taking my claim from me right under. And then on top of that, Alicent, everything, you know, you get mad at Rhaenyra for the rumors you hear about her possibly getting involved with Daemon or whatever the case may be. I'll never forget this, y'all. You Targaryens have weird customs only for you to grow up and marry your kids together. You literally married the brother and sister together. That doesn't bother you? Your children, Alicent, your daughter and your son, Aegon and Helena, you married them together. They had sex and had 2 kids. You didn't have to do that. If it bothered you that much, you didn't have to do that. You just did whatever it is that you wanted to do. It's very hypocritical and it doesn't make any sense. Not to mention, you go back and say, you say all of that, and you're mad about the position that your father put you in. That's really who you need to be mad at. Only for you to turn around and do the same shit Rhaenyra was doing. You not supposed to be fucking on Christian Cole. Christian Cole not supposed to be fucking on you. What happened to duty? What happened to responsibility? And look at what it cost you. Because neither of you was doing what you was supposed to do. You was supposed to be in that room sleep. He was supposed to be on guard duty, catching blood and cheese. And the thing that's going to piss me off is, I feel like in the next episode, nobody's going to acknowledge that. They're going to be so upset and angry, rightfully so, about what happened to what's-his-face child, that they're not going to be focusing on the fact that, wait a minute, this could have been prevented because you had a job to do and you was nowhere in sight. How did they even get that far? How did they even get that far? Where was you at, Christian Cole? There's a scene in the first episode where Aemond and Christian Cole are talking, and Christian Cole goes off on this rant. You know, it's not your mother's fault. Rhaenyra spun her in her web and da 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 da. You're talking about yourself. Rhaenyra and Alicent were legit friends. There was no she spun her in her web and she did this and intoxicated her and what da da da. They were fucking best friends. Everything between them was mutual. They loved each other as best friends. What's the problem? You, Sir Christian Cole, got intoxicated by this girl, fell in love with this girl, and got an attitude because she said she didn't want to marry you. Because she's the crown. I can't just pack my shit up, run away, be on the run, living poor when I don't have to be. Baby, I am the crown. What are you talking about? And I'm going to fight for my position. You didn't like that. And you really didn't like it. Back to everybody being a hypocrite on the green side. You really didn't like it when Rhaenyra suggested, look, you just be my yeah on the side. What's the problem? You said to her, no, I'm not going to be your fuck toy. I'm not just going to be some jump off. Only for years later for you to turn around and be that exact thing for Alicent. You didn't want to be nobody's jump off. You wanted to be in love. You wanted to run away and get married. What happened? You have no problem being Alicent's little toy. Because you know it can never go no further than that. Especially now since you're not on your job. But it was a problem when Rhaenyra suggested it. That doesn't make any sense. Alicent, now you fucking on Christian Cole. Like I said, what happened to duty? What happened to responsibility? You mad because she got to live her young best life, actually experiencing being attracted to somebody, having sex with somebody, being young, doing all these things that you didn't get to experience because of your father. Because he pushed you in that direction. Not because of Rhaenyra, because of your father. Rhaenyra never suggested you to marry her father, the king. She never suggested none of that. That's your dad. He set you up for failure. And now here you are. Now Otto Hightower, I'm on you. You have been hand to the king for 3 kings, they said. And you've been manipulating and you've been doing this and you've been doing that in the 3rd. You can't control Aegon. I hate to break it to you. You can't control him. We're going to see that as the show goes on. And every time I seen Otto Hightower on the screen, he's closing his eyes, doing a deep breath, doing a sigh. Because you know what happens now. You fought so hard to have your grandchild and your part of your legacy on that throne. And you getting ready to get replaced because the nigga who likes feet, who has some weird fetish with feet, and who's basically like this period's Littlefinger, the Loras nigga, I guess is his name, who got his own brother and father and all that killed. The Strongs, Loras Strong, I think is his name. He's in Aegon's ear. He wants to be the new hand of the king. So you really about to be out of here. Was it worth it? It won't be. I can guarantee it's not going to be worth it. I can guarantee. The Greens are just entitled too. I mean, they keep mentioning how Aemond has a right to feel upset because of his eye and da-da-da. Don't even get me started on that because I can really rant about that for days. The fact of the matter is, again, going back to last season, you stole this girl's dragon. You went down to the basement to brag about it and to be a fucking brat. You threatened to kill your cousin, Luke or Jace, one of the two, with a rock. You was punching the girl cousins. You was doing all this stuff. They simply defended themselves and he got your eye for it. Now you think you have the right to walk around with a chip on your shoulder because the eye is gone? You even said it. It's okay, Mom, because I got something for you. You got the dragon. You got Vhagar. So are you really still that upset about your eye? Everybody is trying to sit up here and validate this, and it doesn't make any sense. Oh, well, Aemond's just, he's upset about the eye. That's no reason for you to have stolen the girl dragon, for you to be threatening your cousins and all these things. This false narrative that Otto Hightower created for y'all to hate this girl for no reason. Otto was telling Alicent back in season 1, she's gonna kill you. She's gonna kill your kids. Da, da, da. And you believed him, Alicent? First of all, if I'm Rhaenyra and I have a claim to the throne, what reason would I have to antagonize my half siblings? I have the claim to the throne, so why would I need to do that? Not to mention, Alicent, excuse me, your friend. Would she really try to kill your kids? So y'all go with that narrative. You run off of that. Not to mention, here we are once again. But you have Aegon. Oh, we should have just killed her when we had the chance. Why do you hate your sister? What did she do to you? What did Rhaenyra do to you? Like, this girl did nothing. She's been getting the shit end of the stick ever since Alicent and her father married. Be serious. It's not making no sense, bro. It's not making no sense. Y'all hate this girl Rhaenyra for no fucking reason. And then you kill her son, and even in that, nobody gives a fuck. In a brutal way. Nobody gives a fuck. After we get that news and seeing Luke getting snapped in half, Alicent, you getting bent over, legs wide, Coosy licked. You just don't care. You running around with Sir Christian Cole. You just don't give a damn. Not to mention, and when she in the little room praying over candles or whatever, girl, it took you entirely too long to light one for Lucerys. You saying in the meetings, oh, has Rhaenyra answered my letters? She not gonna answer your letters. You gonna be left on red. Y'all killed my son. And you know you wrong for that. Be serious. Be serious. It's just not making no sense. So with all this being said, like I said, my biggest takeaway right now, well, unfortunately now for Rhaenyra, things have gotten worse because now it really is going to be an all-out war. There's no more talk. I mean, to me, there was no talking beforehand. And I'm going to be honest. I'm a very cruel person. And I do absolutely believe in eye for an eye. That's me. The kids, everybody in that castle, if I was Rhaenyra, everybody was gonna die anyway. Everybody. I don't care, that the maid, the handmaids, this, that, the third, the council, the kids, everybody, if I had it my way. But again, it's about playing the long game. The fact that Daemon sent them people in there, they didn't accomplish the right job. They killed this little boy. Rhaenyra didn't know nothing about it. The whole thing is brutal. That's going to spread around the Seven Kingdoms. Rhaenyra is trying to get allies on her side. It's going to make her look bad. It's going to fuck up her claim. It just got messy. Even if my plan all along was to kill all of you over there, which that would have been my plan. But there's a way to go about it. And brutalizing a child was not ever going to be the right way. Not like that. That's crazy. So Daemon really just set us back a couple steps doing that. He really did. And like I said, now forget the throne. Forget the throne. Forget the heir. Forget the crown. The Dance of the Dragons is literally what leads to the downfall of the Targaryens. All because of the High Towers. All because terrible miscommunication. That's all I've got. And, you know, I do really hate Alicent. I really hate Sir Christian Cole. I hate everybody in the Greens, like I said, besides Helena. Because I just think the entitlement, the jealousy, and the hypocrisy is crazy. Like, outside of what just happened with the whole blood and cheese situation, y'all literally had no reason to do anything. It was never like... It was never your throne, Aegon. Of course, now that's up in the air because what's-his-face was dying. And, what is his name? Viserys. Viserys was dying. And now that will always be lost in translation. Like, there's nothing we can do about it. He's dead. He was dying when he whispered it. He was talking to the wrong bitch. Alicent's, you know, everybody is naming their kids Aegon, 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 Aegon to this, Aegon to that. It just doesn't matter anymore. So now it's just going to be violence and bloodshed. And I hate it. But I hope Rhaenyra, I hope at the end of the day, Aemon, you still have to die. We still have to get our licks back. And I'm going to be honest. If I was Rhaenyra, I'd want Alicent more than anything else. Yes, I'd want Aemon, but Alicent, you actually would be the number one on my list. I'm not gonna lie. So that's that. That's it, y'all. Episode 2 comes out this Sunday. Please, let's have a conversation about it. Did you like the episode? How are you feeling about it so far? I'm excited for this season. That first episode was crazy. It was very classic Game of Thrones. Like, we really fully got, like, fully immersed into it. And this is going to be a very painful season, I can tell. But I'm excited. I'm very excited. So, shout out to House of the Dragon. Shout out to all the actors and everybody. Again, if you like this video, go ahead and subscribe because I'm going to be doing these every single week. So look out for that. We're going to have a blast. And yeah, I'm excited. I'll see y'all next week with the episode 2 review. If you have any other notes or takeaways or anything else that I might have missed, please feel free to leave the comments below so we can discuss. Make sure to follow me on all my socials. I will link all of those down below. Like I said, tap into the Twitch. Twitch.tv/Laytheram. Over there we have some fun sometimes whenever I'm on my shit. But anyway, that's that. Thank y'all so much for watching, and I will see y'all next week with episode 2 review. I'm so sorry if this was like, it took me a minute. It's been a very long time since I just stood in front of the camera and talked, so it's gonna take me a minute to kind of loosen up and get back to having my formula, but we'll get there. But thank y'all for y'all patience. Don't forget to subscribe and fuck with me here. And I'll see y'all next week. Goodbye.